Hey, what's up, guys? Now, I thought I would bring you a quick Halloween Ends review, and I gotta say, man, this is one of those movies. It's you either like it or you hate it. I tend to find myself in the camp that I like it, but that's not without saying that this movie is an absolute train wreck. Like, as a ending to a trilogy, this is absolutely like the worst way to go about it. And then the whole concept of this new series of movies is that you're trying to retcon the old ones, but yet we end up right back where we started with the original movies. And I guess without really spoiling anything too much, I guess if you were to take the concepts of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and you tie them in with the deleted subplots of Halloween 5, and you kind of mesh them in together, you get this movie. I guess the things that I really liked about it was like the homages to the original movies. Like with the beginning, that was like actually a phenomenal opening within the Halloween series, as it kind of tends to do a role reversal. But after that, the movie like literally quickly goes downhill. It's So the way these movies were conceived is that they were supposed to take place within the same Halloween night of 2018. It was supposed to be three movies, and it happens within that specific time frame. But this movie actually opens up like a year after the events of Halloween Kills, and then after the beginning, it jumps forward an extra 3 years, and then we try to get caught up on what happened then. And I gotta say, man, like, as a trilogy ender, this is, you basically introduce a brand new character like literally out of nowhere, and then you kind of revolve the whole movie around them, and it you just try to, like, the best way to say it is that you're trying to introduce a concept that's new within the context of these new movies by repeating the old ones, but you go about kind of derailing your own story. And like, this is one of those movies where it's always like a counterbalance. You always have one good scene, but then you always got something to counteract it, like whether it be plot hole driven or a story issue. And it does tend to bring down the enjoyment value overall. The quality does come down, but for some reason, like, I tend to enjoy like a movie that kind of subverts expectations. But the way they went about it in this movie, it's you have to think that they released these movies out of order, because the way this movie plays out, you could have sworn that it should have been the middle chapter and not the ending one. And one of the biggest problems with this movie is they tend to Freddy Krueger Michael Myers in this series, which, if you've seen the movie on Peacock by now, you kind of understand that reference. But the biggest issue with this movie is it's almost basically a beat for beat copy of Friday the 13th Part 5. And if you guys have seen that movie, you know how divisive that is within the Friday the 13th franchise. And Halloween was never a derivative of Friday the 13th, because Halloween always came out first. But the way they go about this is not the best of intentions. And the biggest issue within the new trilogy of movies is that the subplots always weigh down the movies, because they add so much unnecessary stuff to it that kind of just bogs it down. So they basically fumble the ball, and then you try to make up all that extra yardage just to pad the runtime and make it to the end. And this movie is only about an hour and 45 minutes, but it felt like two. And it just kind of drags down in the middle. But, like, I do like the references to other movie franchises, but it does tend to get tiresome after a while. It's like, why are you trying to retcon all these old movies, but yeah, you're incorporating stuff from them? They even tend to include like a mini homage to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And there's like a whole section that kind of pays homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Return. But it's kind of weird because the way they went about it is like, I liked the movie, but overall it's kind of like the worst one within this new series of films. Which is funny because when 2018 came out, I actually liked that movie a lot. But it's like with subsequent viewings, the quality actually kind of goes down for me because things don't tend to make sense. And then in Halloween Kills, it's well, you kind of blew your load on the first movie. The least you can do is have fun with it, which they did, and I enjoyed that movie more than 2018, which kind of puts me in the minority. But the reason I like Kills is because they added more to the 1978 movie by adding its own lore to it. And with this one, it's like you just completely ignore the first two movies just to make a hard left turn and trying to do your own thing, which does not work in the context of it. But yeah, this is one of those movies where you either like it or you hate it. And ironically, I ended up liking it because they did something different. But it's not the worst Halloween movie because that still goes to Resurrection. And it's definitely not better than the last two movies, that's for sure. But overall, I did like it. But I don't know if you guys ever get the chance to see it, depending on word of mouth and how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it. So take it easy, guys.